Do you know what smudging pottery is? Smudging is an ancient tradition in the Southwest going back centuries, in which the pot is fired in such a way that the surface is covered with carbon, leaving it black and shiny. In this video, I'm going to show you how to fire smudged pottery. Okay, I'm going to do two separate firings today for these two separate bowls. I could fire them together, but it's going to be a lot easier to focus on getting it right if I do them separately. So what I need to do when I fire smudged is put the face of the pot right down on the hot ground. That way, the inside of the pot doesn't get to oxidize any of the carbon out of the clay. That will leave it black. So this is a pot I made a couple months ago and fired, and it came out good. I mean, the smudging part came out good, and the pot came out good. But I got a lot of black around the edge, as you can see. And that happens when this is fired upside down. And those coals naturally just fall and kind of build up around the edge. And then you kind of smudge the edge as well. And so what I was hoping for, especially because this is polychrome on the outside, was a nice clean outside and a smudged inside. So what I want to do today is refire this to clean it up. Leave the inside smudged, clean up the outside so the colors on the painted area come out better. Now this is Salado polychrome. This is a type called Dinwiddie polychrome. So it's painted like Salado, like Tonto polychrome on the outside with red and white and this carbon paint, which will be black. And then I want to smudge the inside. And so this is going to be a little bit tricky because I don't want to burn out the organic paint on the outside and I want to keep it smudged on the inside. So what I'm hoping to do, and this is something completely new I haven't tried before, is to build the fire up on a pedestal so that the pot is up here and the fire, well, let me show you. This is a piece of a yucca stalk. This is going to provide the carbon under the pot for the smudge. And so I just put that on the ground and then place the bowl over the top of it. Make sure it's snugly down on the earth so we don't get any air under it. Now this is what I was talking about. I'm going to put the bowl up on a little bit of a pedestal by digging out the ground around it. That way, the coals, as they fall, won't build up around the rim, but will fall into this trench. And so, like I said, I've never tried this before, but it's my idea as a way to keep the edge along the rim from becoming too smudged. And then once I had that all dug out, I just put the coals back into that hole and then start stacking the wood over it. Firing Salado polychrome requires a real balancing act. You need to find just the right diameter and density of fuel to stack around it because you don't want it to burn any longer than what it needs. And you'd like all of that fuel to burn to coals at just about the same time. You'll notice that in this stack of wood, there's nothing with greater diameter than about 3 inches. You'll notice it was pretty windy. These are not optimal firing conditions, and it caused a problem, which you'll see later when I pull the pot out of the fire. Smudged pottery was first developed sometime before 700 AD in the White Mountain region of Arizona. It was immediately popular and began to be traded into neighboring regions. It really caught on within the Mountain Mogollon culture, where it became the default treatment for utility wares. It appears most commonly in personal food bowls throughout this region. It seems likely that every Mountain Mogollon person ate from a smudged bowl every day of their life, and this pattern continued for hundreds of years. In the early 1000s, corrugated pottery became popular in the White Mountain region. So, of course, they often smudged this type too. This led to some of the finest corrugated pottery made in the ancient Southwest. Types such as Tularosa fillet rim, Tularosa patterned corrugated, and McDonald corrugated, the first painted smudge type. As time went on, smudging began to be practiced farther south in traditionally Hohokam areas. By 1300, smudging was standard practice for many utility wares across much of the Hohokam region. Even Hohokam decorated wares, such as San Carlos red on brown, were often smudged. The Salado got into smudging their decorated pottery too, in the far eastern Salado region, with types such as Cliff white on red and Dinwiddie polychrome. Further south and east, the pottery of Casas Grandes in northern Chihuahua, Mexico, innovated smudging further by making the first all-over smudged pottery, known today as Ramos Black. When Europeans first arrived in the Southwest, the native people were still making smudged pottery among the Hopis, the Zunis, and the Pueblos of the Rio Grande Valley. This practice continued into modern times only in the Rio Grande area. Then, around 1920, Maria and Julian Martinez developed the technique of painting designs onto all-over black smudged pottery. This black-on-black pottery became very popular and caused a huge resurgence of smudged pottery in the Southwest. This is another piece of yucca stalk that I'm using to provide the carbon for this smudging. Now in this case, I need to make that platform that the bowl is sitting on a lot smaller because the previous bowl was quite a bit larger. And so I have to dig this out around this bowl because I don't want those coals kind of piling up around the base of the bowl again. If you're interested in getting started in firing pottery without a kiln, I have an online masterclass on my website called Outdoor Pottery Firing 101. It covers several different methods of firing, it covers all the details and a lot of the science behind outdoor pottery firing. I wouldn't just recommend it because I'm the teacher, but also because I think it's a really good groundwork for anybody wanting to get started in this kind of pottery firing. So if you want to learn more about that class, Outdoor Pottery Firing 101, I'll put the link here on the screen and down in the doobly-doo. Now that I've readjusted the size of that platform, I'm going to go ahead and start adding the wood. And you'll notice in this case, the wood is a lot larger in diameter than I had on the other bowl. And that's because this isn't Salado polychrome. I don't have organic paint, I have mineral paint. So I don't have to worry about the paint burning out. It's a lot easier of a firing process with mineral paint than with organic. Beneath the shadows of this quiet town, I see you there, your feathers on the ground. Your eyes are heavy with the weight of the world, lost in a life you never could offer. Even if you've never flown before, you can take a chance and try once more. Don't let your worries weigh you down, down, down. You can still take flight, although you're earthbound. All right, let's look at our results. I got a really good smudge on this. I think I got that organic paint right too. Let's try wiping that off and see how it does. We should have black designs underneath there. Yeah, you can see I got good blacks and the reds are nice too. So overall, real good organic paint firing. The difficulty was it was windy, and the downwind side, as you can see, is quite a bit grayer. The whites aren't as white as they could be. On the upwind side, that looks a lot better. Overall, really good. Now the bad news. I don't know if you can see it here, but there are cracks all over in the bottom. And those are the kind of cracks you get from thermal shock. So I'm sure it was me when I was rushing getting this out of the fire so I could do the other firing. I should have just waited, let it cool off a little slower. I did the same thing to a bowl last year. That's just me. I'm just kind of a nervous, anxious person, and I sometimes push things too far because of that. Now let's look at the other bowl. Again, really good smudge, as you can see, nice and black and shiny in there, almost gunmetal looking. And on the outside, I got rid of all of that black at the rim. I mean, there's a little black at the rim on both of them, but that's just part of the process because that's being fired right down in the ground. You've got a little area right at the rim that doesn't get oxidized well. But that's expected. Like I said, you see it on all the ancient smudged pottery as well. So that's okay. It just, before you couldn't see much of the decoration because the black was so far up the rim. So cleaned this up really good, I think. But this was the easiest of the two bowls because, not because it was fired before, but because it's mineral paint. You've got to be really careful with that organic paint that you don't over oxidize it or under oxidize it, as well as I wanted to get that smudge and not leave that black around the rim. So I had a lot of things on my mind in that one. Organic paint is sometimes the most difficult thing to fire. If you'd like to learn more about firing organic paint, I'll put a video about that up right over here so you can go check that out, learn more about organic paint. Thanks for coming with me today. I'll catch you next time.